What's up, you guys? JD here, back with another video. I'm gonna keep this video pretty short, but there's gonna be some good info in this video, so make sure you stick around if you day trade, if you're looking to get into it, different things. I'm actually gonna show you guys some strategies where you're actually gonna look for structure. It's not gambling, even though a lot of people believe it's gambling, but it's really not gambling if you just calculate your risk and you learn the right way. Okay, so I'm gonna just explain to you guys a couple things, a couple different structures that I was looking out for, different, kind of things you have to be looking out for in the markets if you want to get into it, right? So let me just start you guys off with some context here. The week before, which was the first week of January, Friday the 5th, right? So this Friday we closed the cup and a handle, okay? Now 5-day moving average and 20-day they crossed. So usually that's a big indicator for a downtrend. Especially when you have this kind of structure, right? An inverse cup and handle, that's a sign of rejection. Plus you have the indicators telling you to go short. So a lot of people on Friday got trapped short coming into the next week. They saw this structure and they're like, okay, I'm going to take my puts here, or I'm going to take puts here. A lot of people printed off of them, held them, whatever it may be, right? So usually when we're going to start a downtrend, you don't really want to rush it right away, right? Sure, you see rejection structure, okay, you have the indicators that are telling you that it's going to go down, but usually you want to see the 5-day or 20-day become a resistance in order to confirm the downtrend, right? You don't want to just get into it and, rush your trades because, the bulls can still defend it. They want to buy at a lower price. So the lower the price goes, the better for the buyers, right? So we had this nice downtrend, whatever, a nice little pullback, okay? Trapped a bunch of shorts when the indicators crossed. And the big traders are actually waiting for the indicators to cross, but they're not going to get in until there's confirmation, right? So you want to be where the big traders are. You don't want to be a retail trader getting stuck right when it crosses. Other retail traders are already going short as soon as it crosses. That's what they're waiting for. So okay, Monday, the bulls had to get moving, so they just squeezed it. We rallied like 50 points. We squeezed all the shorts, and the indicators actually crossed back over. 5-day went back above the 20-day. So it was just a trap, really, to give way to this rally. And what the bulls wanted to do was close this big cup, right? So this cup right here, they wanted to close it, I guess, from here. And there's also a gap, which they wanted to close. So, yeah, they actually rallied all the way up, closed the cup, right? So let's just go through my trades on Monday. Already off the rip, I was looking for a bullish setup because, there wasn't indication that we were rejection off the 20 or the 5-day. There was structure, but there was an indication, okay? So off the rip, I was already looking for buying continuation, okay? Took a little scalp. This was my warm-up trade. So two contracts off of the magenta. You see how beautifully it bounces off magenta, goes up, tapers into blue. So you have to take your profit, especially in the early candles, by where the high of day is or where the structure demands, right? So you see a little cup and a handle. Sure, you can hold them out, or the best thing would be to reload on this candle, right? When it pulls back here, you get it at a cheap price again. I didn't do that because it was too early in the morning, so, no reloads. Thereafter, I went short here because I saw a cup closed here, so I was expecting some sort of little handle or, some kind of pullback for the buyers to come in strong, but we never really got that. So I took the trade on this candle right here when it rejected, when it was sticking in the bearish algos, liquidity here, shoulder here, head right here. Okay, if it doesn't work out, you have to keep your stops tight. So I got stopped out there, which probably gave back some of the profits from here, but 2 contracts, 4 contracts. So maybe I was a little bit red after this trade, okay? It's not a big deal. You just have to regroup, but at least after this, I knew not to look for short because I knew the bulls were in control completely, right? They were uptrending, okay? So once you know that the bulls are uptrending, you want to just not even look at the bearish algos, okay? You can't look at them because then you're going to get confused. You're going to be switching back and forth, puts, calls, right? No. You don't want to do that. So you look for the bullish algos, right? Look at where they are, okay? One entry here. This is probably the best entry, okay? If you want to start along off the magenta, sure, it's not as safe as having this head and the shoulder, which is a nested head and shoulder. So I got in on the right shoulder right here on the nested. And once we bounced off of that blue, boom, you take your profit. Wait for another structure, okay? Thereafter we had another mini nested head and shoulder, right? we have this head, nested shoulder, another nested shoulder. So the bulls were controlling this the whole time. You can chart this yellow algorithm out to see where we're gonna get to. This was a slow, grindy day, so it's like you don't want to stay in the contracts the whole day, like sticking it out. You kind of want to get in, wait for liquidity to build, get back in, get out, you know? So wait for liquidity to build. After this pump, you get out, then you gotta wait again, okay? You can enter here, look at how beautiful this is, okay? Magenta tapers into blue. You have a perfect entry right here, perfect entry. Now I wasn't looking at my chart, so I didn't get in here, but I always like to chart it after just so I know what to look out for. But this is just beautiful. This is what you want to see, right? Beautiful structure. So yeah, we just had a nice trendy day. Okay, I took some trades in the afternoon here. Once I had this micro, boom, take profit, and another final little pullback, and you know, rallied up. So here I was actually looking for them to close this gap, right, that we had from before. This gap, they almost closed it, almost, but it did give way because it formed the cup, right? So we closed the partial cup, the partial gap, we closed the cup. So you know what we were looking for, a handle, right? Which it so happened to be in after hours. We had our handle, okay? So we gapped down probably like 3-4 points, some good amount, whatever. And after that, you have to look for buying continuation. There's no other way. You have to keep with the structure. If they formed the cup and they wanted to push for the gap, have to look for buying continuation, right? So thereafter, buying continuation, no reason to get into puts or look for puts. They're buying it up, okay? So enter the long here, warm up, boom, nice profit, get back in. Look at how beautiful this structure is, right? Magenta builds liquidity, blue defends it, and boom, buyers come in, activating the yellow algorithm, okay? So the blue is always to defend. That's where the bulls are defending. If it breaks out of blue, you know that the bears are in control, that the bulls are like weakening, I guess. But you always want to see the magenta because the magenta is where the sellers are getting trapped. All these red candles are sellers getting trapped, right? But you see how the blue holds it, okay? That's where the bulls are actually defending. And once they have enough sellers trapped to activate that yellow algo, they just, boom, squeeze them out, all right? So yeah, we were looking for buying continuation. Continue, bull algorithms, pull back, blue defending, boom, you could take this long, another one, boom, you could take that long. These aren't too high RR, but they are nice little scalps that you can take just if you know how to use the algorithms to your advantage, okay? So I probably left some lottos here, which is why I didn't take any trades here. So these were probably lottos, and I just let them continue up. Once I saw this magenta and this blue, I think this was PPI day. I took the long here, boom, we broke out, closed the cup, right? A micro cup. After you see that cup close, you have to look for a handle. So you have to take your profits by that high of day, okay? So there we had our handle, boom. It's a nice short, you can take it, right? I wasn't really looking short because I was looking at the long the whole time, right? But I had this green algo, which is our tapering algo, okay? So this is where the sellers are waiting for. The sellers are not going to sell up here. Some of them might, okay? But they're really, the big sellers are actually waiting for this algorithm, okay? So we had a pullback, magenta, right? This white algo right here that I charted out, that's where the sellers want to go, right? So if you see that white algo is not holding and it tapers into magenta and then you have this blue defending, what do you think is going to happen? Okay? So right after we tapered back up, but we were still in the bearish algos. I took a long here. I thought we were going to break out. I saw this inverse head and shoulder, right? Not a good long to take. The long realistically would be off this magenta and blue right here. This is a perfect entry. So that's where the long should be. Better RR. You know, look at this trade. This is an insane trade. This is beautiful for a day trader. I didn't take it. Too much volatility. I tried to take this breakout and it didn't work out, but you can't win them all, man. You can't. It's impossible to win them all. But as long as you stay consistent with your strategy, you know, you keep going at it, it's gonna work out, right? So once we were under the bearish algos, I knew I had to look for the short. the sellers were going to be here, at least to give away for this handle, whatever it may be, build liquidity. But I knew sellers were going to be waiting for this, okay? Especially once you see this red taper, you know, sellers, they're coming in, okay? So I waited for a pullback to this magenta. I took my short on this candle right here. Once it bounced off that green, that's a beautiful, beautiful entry. We had a pullback, take my profits by here, and then you got to wait, okay? Then it started respecting the red algo, right? Which is a bearish tapering algo. So you just want to wait, wait for the liquidity to build. And right here, I took another short, boom, secured, done for the day, okay? Now, this short was actually controlled, okay? It was actually a handle for the bulls. So the bulls were controlling the selling the whole time, which I knew. So you have to take these profits quick. You cannot overstay your welcome. You can't load the boat. You just have to go with the flow, right? You have to take small contracts, take your profit, get back in if there's more structure to get back in, okay? Because you can see this blue, it's just the bulls building a handle for their big cup, right? So the next morning I knew the cup, boom, we closed the cup, partial gap was closed, and we had a macro cup and handle, right? We had this one, and we had this big one, right? So that's two cup and handles, which is going to give way to more buying continuation, obviously, okay? You can kind of say this is a cup and handle, kind of, in a way. But it wasn't the same day. We closed around here on Tuesday, right? Wednesday, I was already looking out for buying continuation just because we respected the blue, right? We gapped up a little bit and buying continuation. I don't take trades this early, but you can if you want to. This is kind of a risky trade because it's right when market opens. But I was looking out for buying continuation to at least close the cup or the gap. Gap was filled right here, okay? We got some sort of pullback. I was looking for buying continuation. So this was my first warm-up trade right here within the bullish algos, okay? Now the better trade would have been a short, not gonna lie, okay? Short was way better here, but I was still looking for buying continuation. You have to stick to your plan. That's number one. If you're not sticking to your plan, you're not trading right, okay? My plan was buying continuation, another one right here. This blue was defending. You see the head, shoulder, inverse nested, right? So blue was defending it. Your entry can be right here. That's the best RR. I waited for the breakout. So I take profits here, leave some runners to keep going. If it happens, it happens, right? Thereafter we had this red algo, which is some tapering. So you have to look out for you have to take your profit by here. You can't just try to hold it out, see if it breaks a tapering. No. You hold maybe one or two after the trade is protected, then you can hope, okay? So we had some sort of pullback, which is a handle, just chopping everyone up, killing contracts here. I took a short here within the bullish algorithms, right? This is the bulls controlling the selling. We had this, and we had it try again, then it tried again. So here I figured it was going to pull back again. Took a small little short there. Quick, nice, easy, stress-free, right? Now, why can't you think it's going to dump? Well, there's not really any structure to say that we're going to dump. If there's a cup, inverse cup and handle, then okay, you could be looking for short. But you can't be looking for short when you have an inverse head and shoulder, you have macro and micro cup and handles the day before. You can't. It's just a clear indication that sellers are not in this market right now, okay? So you have to look at the blue algos, see where the bulls are controlling it, find out your entry points, and you find profits, okay? You don't have to be right in the direction. Look here, I was wrong in the direction. Still made profit because I know where my entry is and I know where my exit is and I know where we're bound by, okay? So the buyers actually, their target was 478. So they wanted to go higher, close the big cup, and to push us out of the range, right? So slow, grindy day. They just kept it going. 478. This completed another cup right here. So we had another handle, another buying continuation, which got us to their target to close a big cup, okay? So I did go long here because I thought we were just going to go straight up here to close the cup. Didn't work out. The red tapering, but I didn't notice a red tapering. I had it all charted out. So I knew if this trade didn't work out, I can always take this short here, make it back, and wait for continuation, right? So that's exactly what I did. I took the long, probably took some profits on this candle, held maybe like two or three contracts, didn't work out, got stopped out. But then after the short was ready to go, this was end of day. Sellers were waiting for this all day. We had a nice choppy day. And yeah, from there, you just take the short here. Then you use those previous profits to take this short here because this is risky towards the end of the day. And yeah, you have to secure your profits. Don't hold them out. Don't hold till next day. There's no point. Better to reopen, okay? Or you can just not trade this and gather clues for the next day because this was actually just a handle for a cup, which led to buying continuation here, right? The next day, buying continuation, cup and handle, okay? I don't trade the morning, but you can swing from here to here. Everyone has a different trading method, okay? Once we close this big cup, right? Let me show you on the 30-minute. That was right here when we close this big cup, okay? You have to look out for a handle. You have to, okay? It's not just gonna close the cup and just rally, okay? So this actually gave access to sellers to make profit this day, or for buyers to take their profit, right? So we just had a nice sell-off. I didn't enter here. I could have entered here, but I didn't, okay? I wait for that control algo to come in, more secure. And once it rejects that green algo, that's a nice entry. Boom, enter. Take it down, okay? I probably close most of my contracts after this candle. That's enough profit. You don't have to stick it out, okay? Then after, re-entered, control algo, okay? Another control algo, you can re-enter. This isn't the best entry. I took it because I just saw this rejection. So usually when I see a green candle pop and another one about to engulf, I know that they're gonna break another low of day, okay? Thereafter, right, we had some tapering. The blue, it was controlled, right? The bulls did not want to let it go. It did go down a little bit, but the bulls were still in control this whole time. It was in the magenta. As long as the magenta and the blue are here together, the bulls are controlling it, okay? You can't expect this magenta to just cause a sell-off. That's bulls controlling the selling, okay? So once you see the tapering, you want to wait for a microstructure outside of that tapering. So you put a blue algo here. This is all liquidity building. You don't want to be here. 5-day was right here. 20-day was right here, acting as a support. So a lot of people, they expected inverse cup and handle and break through, right? So all these red candles, shorts getting trapped in their trapped position. Look at these red candles. This is exactly what the buyers want, okay? A lot of sellers. That's exactly what they want. Excuse me. So thereafter, once we broke out of that, built all of this liquidity, buyers are like, all right, it's time to go. Boom. Right? You get those control algos. Boom. Another control algo. Boom. So you need to look out for the control algos to see exactly when we're building liquidity. In here, you don't want to enter any of this. Like, you don't want to. This is not good trading. This is where the retail traders get stuck, liquidity building. And then all you have to do, the pro traders, they just wait for this, get in, get out, wait again, get in, get out. And you know, they just keep going. Now, I didn't trade this day. I was really busy, okay? I took these trades in the morning, but I didn't really like this chop. Maybe, actually, I did take some lottery contracts because we did have the big cup and handle. So I think I took some call lottos, maybe here, whatever, held them out for the whole day. It wasn't anything crazy. Usually my lottos are like $100 max, and you know, sometimes they'll turn to like $1,000, but this wasn't a day because it was too slow, too choppy. So I mean, maybe I made like $100, maybe I doubled it, but still, you know, you're just making passive income with the profits, so there's no risk. There's literally no risk if you know how to trade, okay? Most people just get greedy, they risk a lot, and you know, lose everything, okay? So we had a nice choppy day. This was actually just a day to build a handle, build liquidity. The bulls actually just wanted to close this small cup because that's gonna make a macro and a micro cup and handle, okay? So Thursday morning, right? sorry, Friday morning, we just expected some chop because they had closed 2 cups, right? So we wanted liquidity to build, okay? So it's a pretty straightforward day on Friday. We were pretty much just allowing the 5-day moving average to catch up and building liquidity for a possible breakout next month, next week when PPI comes out, when the data comes out, whatever. The market's just building liquidity at the moment, letting the 5-day catch up. So you see these blue, this is all bullish controlled, but you can expect a handle. So Friday morning, I was expecting a handle. Boom, instantly you see the shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay? Within the green controlled algos from yesterday. That's why it's important in power hour that you gather clues for the next day. You see this red tapering, right? So that's another sign. Buyers trapped here, buyers trapped here. So already off the rip, I knew I could load contracts right here because I knew the previous day we were looking out for all of these buyers that were trapped, and we had a cup and handle that had to be formed, okay? Even though the buyers are controlling this, they can still give way. Whenever you see buyers, algorithms giving way, or sellers vice versa, the tapering can give way. You see how the tapering gives way? So that's always confirmations, okay? So you're not looking for buying continuation here. A cup is not going to just keep going up. We need some sort of pullback, trap more sellers, rally the buyers, right? So here you see the micro head and shoulder took the trade there, secure by the red, because at the red you're going to expect some buyers to be defending there, okay? That's why we had this. Once you see the second head and shoulder here, shoulder, head, shoulder, micro head and shoulder, right? You could take this trade, but you have to secure by the bottom of the red, especially because 5-day and 20-day were right here. So you can't expect the buyers to like let go of that, I guess. They need that as a support if they want to keep going up, especially with the structures that we have. So again, look for the algos, green, red taper, selling, all controlled by buyers, okay? After this trade right here, you have to wait because the buyers are just building liquidity. As you can see, they're just not letting the price go out of their control, okay? They're not. So once you see the bounce off this blue, this is another liquidity building algo for the sellers actually, okay? This is building liquidity for the sellers. So here, that's why we had these big red candles. The sellers were building liquidity, trapping buyers. But realistically, we're controlled within the buying algorithm, okay? So the buyers, they don't care where it goes as long as it stays within up here. They're just building out the handle, trapping liquidity, okay? So thereafter, we had just a choppy, grindy day up. Didn't trade any of this. This is horrible. Like, this is where retail traders get smashed. And I was just waiting for structure, right? Waiting for the algorithms. Right here, they appeared. I saw the blue tapering, magenta. So I probably took the long right here off of that magenta break. Take profit by here. Leave some runners, and they can go, okay? So that's pretty much, they formed the cup, small cup. Not as important as the previous 2 cups that they closed. This was just a handle. Friday was a choppy day. We already knew that. We were expecting it to be a choppy day. And this was just the final trade of the week, which there's a shoulder here, a head, and they formed the right shoulder within the bearish algos. So you could take the short, expecting some sort of pullback, but blue algo, bullish in control, right? So you have to take your profits by there. Maybe you got lucky and you took this candle. I took most of my profits by this red candle. I'm happy with that because I know the bullish algo is here to protect it, right? So you can take profits here, leave 20%. Maybe you get this candle at the 20% and that's it. You're done. You're done. Because, you know, the bulls are going to be defending that. And look at how beautifully they just kept defending this blue and eventually buying continuation. So pretty much trade with structure. Make sure you're looking at the algorithms, right? They're going to give you a way to guide your trades, where you can enter, where the sellers are waiting for. And once the buyers build enough liquidity in these blue algos, they're going to activate the yellow. So you know when the yellow is activated, the buyers are in control. Okay, period. Now, to get the yellow unactivated, right, you have to see some sort of tapering. So the yellow activated here. This was actually a slow, grindy day, so, building liquidity. But the yellow has to be stopped by a tapering, which is this green, and it further tapered into this yellow. And once it tapers into this yellow, the sellers are here, so you can expect to bring it down. But the bulls don't care because they're controlling it, okay? As long as it doesn't get out of the blue and reject the blue, you know that the buyers are in control. So say, for example, this cup closed, right, to low of day, and we had a handle rejecting the blue, then you can say, okay, sellers are here, okay? But it has to close to low of day and reject the blue, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it. That was a lot of talking. I hope you guys learned something. Make sure you guys subscribe, like. If you want to learn something else, just leave a comment. If you want me to explain something in the next video, leave a comment. And I hope you guys like the videos. I'll try to make it consistent every week, at least once a week. And I'll probably try and upload some shorts and stuff of live trades. I'm gonna do some big things, guys. So keep tuned. And I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate whoever stuck out this long. Like, for real, you actually deserve everything. Okay. So yeah, you guys have a good day, and yeah, I'll catch you guys next week.